The South China Sea is once again the center of rising international tension. At the heart of this dispute is Scarborough Shoal, Bajo de Masinloc to the Philippines, Huangyandao to China. Recent weeks have seen a dangerous escalation, with China increasing its military presence and the Philippines vowing to defend its territory. This is about more than fishing rights. It's a test of sovereignty, international law, and regional power. For Filipino fishermen, Scarborough Shoal is a lifeline, not a political symbol. Their access has been threatened for years by Chinese vessels, and now their livelihoods hang in the balance. The Philippine government faces mounting pressure to protect its people and its claims. This crisis is urgent and could reshape the region's stability. We'll explore China's recent military actions, its controversial nature reserve plan, and why the Philippines sees these as existential threats. We'll also examine the legal facts, including a landmark international court ruling. Finally, we'll look at how the Philippines is responding, and why this small shoal matters so much for the nation's future. The story is still unfolding, but the stakes have never been higher. The lines are drawn. On China's National Day, October 1st, 2025, the PLA staged major military drills near Scarborough Shoal. Powerful bombers, warships, and fighter jets sent a clear message. China is ready to enforce its claims. The China Coast Guard raised the Chinese flag on a ship near the shoal, broadcasting the event nationwide. The ceremony and drills were a show of force, not just routine patrols. Advanced weapons like YJ-12 anti-ship missiles raised the stakes, making the area more volatile than ever. The Philippines, with a smaller military, faces a daunting challenge. Respond without provoking open conflict. China's actions highlight the military imbalance and its willingness to ignore international law. The timing, China's National Day, was symbolic, projecting strength to both domestic and global audiences. For Manila, these moves are direct provocations and acts of intimidation. The drills and flag raising were calculated to tighten China's grip on the shoal and warn others to stay away. The standoff is now more tense and unpredictable than ever. The world is watching, and the risk of escalation is real. The Philippines must tread carefully. In September 2025, China announced plans to turn Scarborough Shoal into a national nature reserve. On the surface, it's about environmental protection, but Manila sees a hidden agenda. Philippine officials fear the plan is a pretext for occupation and militarization. Declaring a nature reserve could justify more Chinese ships, patrols, and even permanent facilities. Experts warn this could lead to artificial island building, cementing China's control. The Philippines has seen this playbook before. Civilian projects masking military expansion. Once China claims administrative control, Filipino fishermen could be permanently blocked. The nature reserve could become another outpost, ending Philippine access to its own waters. For Manila, this is not conservation, it's a strategic move for dominance. The stakes are high, and the pattern is all too familiar. History haunts the Philippines, especially the story of Mischief Reef. In the 1990s, China built fishermen's shelters on Mischief Reef, claiming peaceful intent. Over time, those shelters became a sprawling military base with runways, radars, and missile sites. The Philippines protested, but China's promises proved empty. Today, Mischief Reef is a symbol of lost territory and broken trust. This experience shapes Manila's deep skepticism of China's Scarborough Shoal plans. When China talks of nature reserves, Filipinos remember how civilian projects led to military outposts. General Romeo Bronner, Armed Forces Chief, has vowed not to let history repeat itself. The loss of Mischief Reef is a defining lesson. Trust must be earned, not assumed. Every Chinese move at Scarborough Shoal is now scrutinized. The Philippines is determined not to be caught off guard again. The shadow of Mischief Reef looms over today's standoff. Manila is on high alert. The Philippines has responded to China's actions with unwavering resolve. Top leaders have publicly rejected China's claims and attempts to control Scarborough Shoal. President Marcos Jr. has promised to defend every inch of Philippine territory and protect fishermen's rights. The government's message: the Philippines will not be intimidated by military might or legal maneuvers. Military leaders, including General Bronner, have pledged to prevent any Chinese construction or occupation at the shoal. The country is preparing for all scenarios, not just relying on words. A united front from government and military signals serious intent to both Filipinos and the world. The Philippines will never accept China's administrative actions or sovereignty claims over Bajo de Masinloc. This is a matter of national pride, history, and law. The line in the sand is clear, and Manila is standing firm. The Philippines' claim to Scarborough Shoal is grounded in international law and geography. The shoal lies just 120 nautical miles from Luzon, well within the Philippines' 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone under UNCLOS. In contrast, China's nearest landmass is over 500 nautical miles away. UNCLOS gives the Philippines exclusive rights to resources in this zone, a right both countries agreed to by treaty. China's claim relies on historical maps, not recognized by international law. The Philippines has followed UNCLOS rules, defining its EEZ accordingly. China's 9-dash line overlaps with several countries' EEZs, creating conflict. The legal framework is clear. Scarborough Shoal falls within the Philippines' economic zone. This is the foundation of Manila's confidence and its rejection of China's claims. The dispute is not just about power, it's about upholding the law. The Philippines stands on solid legal ground. That's why it refuses to back down. Tensions at Scarborough Shoal peaked in 2012, when a Philippine Navy ship tried to arrest Chinese fishermen. Chinese surveillance ships intervened, leading to a weeks-long standoff. The Philippines withdrew as part of a US brokered deal, but China stayed and took de facto control. Manila turned to international law, filing a case at the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. In 2016, the court ruled decisively for the Philippines. China's 9-dash line had no legal basis. The ruling affirmed Scarborough Shoal as a traditional fishing ground and condemned China's blockade as illegal. China rejected the decision and tightened its grip on the shoal. Despite this, the 2016 ruling remains central to the Philippines' position. It transforms the dispute into a test of respect for international law. The Philippines insists the ruling must be honored. The world's credibility is at stake. The legal victory is a powerful tool for Manila, but enforcement remains the challenge. The Philippines is taking action to defend its rights and its people. The Coast Guard now escorts Filipino fishing fleets to Scarborough Shoal, challenging China's blockade. These missions are risky, but show Manila's determination to protect its citizens. The government supports fishing communities with programs to ease economic hardship. Diplomatically, the Philippines files regular protests, creating a record of China's actions. Manila is also building alliances, seeking international support for the rule of law. Military and Coast Guard surveillance is constant, watching for any Chinese construction. General Bronner has declared any Chinese building on the shoal a red line. The strategy: escort, protest, monitor, defending sovereignty on all fronts. The fight is as much about people as territory. Scarborough Shoal is more than a disputed reef. It's a test of Philippines' sovereignty and identity. The government's stand reflects the will of the Filipino people and their connection to Bajo de Masinloc. Surrendering the shoal would mean accepting that might makes right. The 2016 arbitral ruling is the legal backbone of Manila's position. By insisting on law, the Philippines fights for a world where rules matter. The standoff is a global issue. If legal rulings are ignored, international order is at risk. The Philippines' actions, escorting fishermen, filing protests, monitoring the shoal, send a clear message. The country will not be intimidated or back down. The future of its maritime resources and sovereignty depends on this fight. For all Filipinos, Bajo de Masinloc is and will remain part of the Philippines.